Today I have a question here from Pallavi. She asked, could you please talk about vasanas? When these arise, though there is awareness, yet there is a drag to continue with the habit or vasana. One step towards the habit, it feels as if it took you far from being the self, just being. Feels you are robbed of being. So vasanas, for anybody that is unfamiliar, you can just consider it an aspect of your conditioning. Certain mental habits, cravings, impulses, movements, which are arising. It's part of the personal expression. One thing that I invite you to explore is that vasanas are only on the level of appearance. They are only on the level of personal experience. They are seen to arise and subside. They can never rob you of being. For them to appear and disappear, for them to be known to you, you must be. So that is one of the main points of today's video to understand, is that any mental habit, any personal craving, action, reaction, the witnessing of any of this cannot rob you of being. You always are yourself. You always are only the witness of the arising of the vasana and the compulsive acting upon it, and then the reaction to it. You are only the witness of this appearing in your seeing. It's almost as if you take the example of a movie screen, and on the movie screen, a movie is being displayed, right? And inside of that movie, the person that you call the main character is experiencing a craving. That person is trying not to succumb to that craving, but the power of the craving is strong inside of the movie. And inside of the movie, what happens is the person succumbs to the craving and acts on the craving, and then later regrets it. All of this in no way affected the screen on which this picture was being portrayed, displayed. Notice that the screen never undergoes any change, whether the person succumbs to the vasana, the craving, or does not. It does not in any way affect the screen on which the movie is playing. You are like that screen. Being you, that which is like that screen, which even supports the appearance of the person succumbing to the vasana and acting on it. So that is one of the main important things for you to start observing in your experience now. Sometimes, as you said, the vasana will arise, and sometimes you'll be able to observe it, and in your awareness of it, it will dissolve. You will no longer feel compelled by it. You will no longer believe in it and get hypnotized by it. Other times, you will want to observe it and break identification with it, but it will feel like there's no way that you can not act on it. In a way, it just happens. And you say, hey, it robs you of your being. But in those moments, that is where I want you to observe that even when you are compulsively acting on any craving or resistance, instead of like going into this conceptual belief that, it robbed me of my being, observe even that appearing and passing. Even the person, the body acting on the vasana and later regretting is observed. Everything that is happening on the circumstantial level, to the bodily level, to the mental level, even the arising and passing of these vasanas, even the body that is feeling the effects of these vasanas, even the mental reaction to acting on these vasanas, all of it is being observed. All of it is in your seeing. You are only the witness. Do not identify. A perfect example for this is when you are trying to no longer be emotionally reactive. And now you are learning to observe your feelings, observe your emotions, rather than just get caught up in the mental storm of he, she did this to me, this happened, why is this happening to me, right? So you're trying to no longer be emotionally reactive. And you notice that even though you're trying hard to practice this teaching, sometimes when something happens, you still end up reacting. In those moments, it just happens. And then later you regret it. And you say, how to deal with this regret? I'm trying so hard to practice, but I keep failing. So now you must go one step subtler. Even the personal failure, even the mind reacting to what happened, the body acting it out, and then the mind regretting what happened, of all of this, you are the witness. Observe this entire appearance unfolding. In your observing, you will start to become free. The point of these practices is not to perfect the person. It is not to perfect the mind. You cannot, even if you tried. The point of this is not to dissolve the vasana, kill the vasana. The point of it is to transcend identification with what appears through judgmentless, motiveless witnessing of what appears. So the entire personal life that you think you're living, the person and its life, are like the movie that are appearing on this screen. The screen is your very own witnessing awareness. Be just the witness. No matter how the mind is reacting, what the body is feeling or appearing like, what is happening on the circumstantial level, you are only the witness. Continue to return to this fact, and it will cease to feel like you are being robbed of being. See that is impossible. Even for this appearance to appear and be known to you, you must be. So put this into your practice, and you will find that vasanas do not disturb you anymore. And that in your very observing of their arising, no matter how intensely they are arising, in your observing, you are becoming free from them. It's not like you're making them go away and doing something to make them go away. In your very observing of them, the identification with them is what is dissolving. And that is the important bit. So I hope this video helped you. If you have any follow-up questions on this, please post them down below. I use them for future videos. If you need help with this, if you want to implement this, consider enrolling in our School of Awakening, in which you can go through this practice in a much more structured way, day by day. It's really focused in the practice of the teaching. There you also get full support. We do weekly Q&As, guided meditations, and we have a lovely community where you can always ask your questions and get immediate responses. So I'll link that down below. Check that out. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time.